I never expected to end up in the hospital that day. One moment, I was at work, pushing through the last few hours of my shift, and the next, I was on the floor, gasping for breath. The doctors later called it a stress-induced episode, too much pressure, not enough rest. It made sense. Between the long hours, the kids, and trying to keep my marriage from completely falling apart, my body had finally had enough. The thing is, I wasn't just physically exhausted. I was drained in ways I didn't even have words for. My wife, Anna, and we weren't in a good place. The distance between us had grown in ways I couldn't quite pinpoint. It wasn't the shouting matches, those had stopped months ago. It wasn't even the cold silences. No, it was something deeper. An absence. A void where love used to be. Still, even in that hospital bed, hooked up to monitors, I held on to one thought: no matter what was happening between us, we had a family. And I had to get better for my kids. But then, Anna said something that made my world tilt. It happened when the doctor came in to update her on my condition. I wasn't fully asleep, just resting with my eyes closed. Maybe she thought I couldn't hear her. Or maybe she just didn't care anymore. "He'll be fine," the doctor said, glancing at my chart. "He just needs rest and less stress. Maybe consider reducing any emotional strain in his life." Anna let out a sharp, humorless laugh. "Well, that's ironic," she muttered. Then, in a quieter, bitter tone, she added, "He's not even the father of my kids anyway." I stopped breathing. For a second, I thought I imagined it. Maybe it was the medication. Maybe I had finally lost it. But no. Those words had been real. They hung in the air, heavy, irreversible. The room went silent. Even the doctor hesitated before clearing his throat. I see. He glanced at me, probably thinking I was still asleep. Then, to my surprise, he turned back to Anna and said something that made her face go pale. "Then you should know," the doctor said, voice steady, "that your husband has a very rare blood type. One that neither you nor any potential other father could have passed down. Meaning, biologically, those children are his. There's no doubt about it." I opened my eyes then, slowly, deliberately. I wanted to see her reaction. Anna looked like she'd been punched in the stomach. Her mouth opened and closed, but no sound came out. Her hand shook as she gripped the chair beside my bed. I sat up, wincing at the soreness in my body, but the pain didn't matter anymore. I was done pretending. Done ignoring the signs. Done being the fool. "You lied," I said, my voice quieter than I expected. Not angry. Not yet. Just hollow. "You wanted me to believe they weren't mine." "Why?" Her eyes filled with tears, but I couldn't tell if they were from guilt or fear. I didn't mean it," she whispered. "I was angry." Angry?" I repeated. "Angry enough to throw away our family? To make me doubt my own children?" I shook my head, the weight of her betrayal settling deep in my chest. "That's not just anger, Anna. That's cruelty." She covered her face with her hands. "I thought you had cheated first," she admitted through her sobs. "I was so sure. You were distant. Working late. Always tired. I convinced myself you had someone else. And when I made my mistake, I told myself it didn't matter. That we were even." I let out a slow, shaky breath. "But I never cheated," I said, watching as her body trembled. "Not once. I worked late for us. For our kids. For a marriage that clearly meant nothing to you." She sobbed harder, reaching for my hand, but I pulled away. The pain I felt in that moment was different from anything I had ever known. It wasn't just heartbreak. It was something deeper. The realization that no matter how much I had loved her, no matter how much I had sacrificed, it hadn't been enough. And maybe, it never would be. The doctor quietly excused himself, giving us privacy, but the damage had been done. Anna wiped her tears, looking at me with desperation. Please, she begged. Please don't give up on us. I was wrong. I was stupid. I let my insecurities ruin everything. I sighed, running a hand through my hair. I don't even know who you are anymore, I admitted. But I do know one thing. She held her breath. I deserve better than this. Her face crumbled. And for the first time in a long time, I felt free. It's been months since that night. The divorce papers are nearly finalized. The kids are adjusting. They don't know all the details, and I don't plan on telling them. What matters is that they know I love them. That hasn't changed. As for Anna, she's still trying. Apologies, messages, attempts to talk. But I've made my choice. I look in the mirror now, and I see a man who gave his all. A man who refused to be broken by betrayal. And that, to me, is enough.